Well, hey kids, it's me, Johnny Fox here at Snikt. We're running a little late, we've got some technical difficulties. The gremlins are in again, but what's new? So hopefully this week's guests, plural, to get that, will be with me very shortly. Very excited to find out exactly what this is about. I know little more than you do. Jing and Tonic are they're performers in their own right, promoters. Got a lot of good stuff going on, a lot of things to check out upcoming. If you're a performer of any kind, if you're a fucking juggling bear, backflipping penguin, you ride unicycles or reading poetry, whatever it is that you do, you might want to step up and pay attention to this. They'll be here shortly, I think, and we'll all have a good time. I definitely want to find out a lot more about them. And we're going to go deep into Jing and Tonic. Here in the UK, it is past 7 p.m, which is more than late enough to be enjoying a Jing and Tonic. So we'll get on that. They'll be here shortly, we hope. This is always the fun part. I should write a bunch of jokes. Hey, we've got something going.
Hi.
Hey, look at this.
We're in.
People.
We're gonna
real lives.
We're gonna have to
human beings.
Real life human beings.
Where's that?
I would.
Oh, AI. Oh, the machines are taking over. Not if this is anything to go by. They're fucking useless.
We're real. How do we get rid of that?
I would say it like.
I can try turning off the lights.
Hey.
Is
that too dark?
Is that too dark?
No, that looks fine to me.
So this is Curtis. I'm Claire. Nice to meet you, actually, in real life.
Well, sort of. This is the 21st century real life, though, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
No,
go on.
No, I was just going to say, which is kind of sad. Originally, when I started doing this, that was the plan. The plan was get me out of the house, get me out of my comfort zone, meet some new people, make some new friends, and between all the shit that's gone on in the world, and these artistic types, on the one hand, they're up on stage shouting, swearing, they're in fucking makeup, they're naked, they're doing whatever it is that they're doing. But you say, hey, do you want to come and have a chat for an hour with me? And he's like, oh, no, I can't do that. My anxiety. Really?
Yeah, we're hurt.
Hey, sensitive types.
That's what they say.
Yeah, but I love them. I love them all. They're all beautiful, beautiful people. As are you guys. So now you're here. So it's Claire and Curtis. So which one's Jing? Which one's Tonic?
Oh, we've never been honestly.
I don't think either of us will want to be Tonic because that's like the addition.
I'm thinking another wanted to be Jing.
I like Jing. Jings.
We'll get back to you on that one.
Never considered it, honestly.
Traditionally, this is the part of the show where I simply turn it over to you guys and say, tell the kids at home a bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay, I should really start this by saying Curtis is wildly Curtis didn't have a clue what was going on until he walked through my well, he did vaguely. He definitely thought this wasn't video and definitely wasn't live. So I just launched him in.
But I will do anything Claire asks me at any point. I'm in. Now, I do have a question, though, because at the bottom of our screen, it does say, send a request to be in Sniktagram's live video, request to join. Are we supposed to click request to join? Are we being
here? Yeah. Well, you're here. It's fine.
Okay.
I think we're done. I think we've got it going.
Someone to leave a little comment and say, we're here.
If people aren't hearing and seeing, they'll let us know.
Hi, can you just... We're here.
It'll all get recorded, and we can share it around for posterity. We can share it around anyway, so it's all good.
Lovely. We trust your technological genius.
We'll go that far.
No.
I'm having to learn quickly, much quicker. I'm being dragged into the 21st century, whether I like it or not. I'll get a cool haircut eventually. To get by Christmas.
I would say you got quite a cool haircut, I'll be honest.
So, anyway,
sorry,
you can explain it much better than I do. So, why are you here? What do you do?
Where do we start with this? So we started in Beijing. And we started during the pandemic in Beijing, hence Jing and Tonic. We thought that was a fun play on words.
Never thought it would be moving to Sheffield, England. So,
well, I was going to say that's a story in and of itself, right there.
We did think
from Beijing to Sheffield.
Sheffield drinks puns, and really nothing was working.
The closest was like Sheffield sour. I liked that one. And Claire Foley said, absolutely not.
I think that's how much I thought of that, is that I don't even remember that coming up.
You can't really do Sheffield and Tonic. It doesn't scan, you know?
Yeah.
So, well, like, better suggestions. You know, it's too late to change it because we've got the neon sign. But no, we'll get back to that. But I guess we just thought, I kind of thought it's weird enough that it sticks. You know, when something's odd and people remember it because it's a little bit odd. I thought that
I fucking hope so, because that's my whole gimmick. That's my whole thing. It's a little bit odd.
Well, we'll get back to you about what on earth snicked means. I'm a bit worried about that. But yeah, it started in the pandemic in Beijing, and during that time, I guess there was, maybe rightly so, but there was really no platform for performers at that time, and maybe stupidly. I think when I look back, it was probably very stupid of me, but I thought, if there's no performance place, there's no platform, I'm gonna just make one. And so I did. And so probably Jing and Tonic was one of the very few platforms that people could come and perform at and get paid and have like a packed house. Part of our
wait, what? It's just, I have performed. I've spent many years in bands. Like Shocker, the hairy beardy guy, was in rock bands. Who would have thought it?
You look the
but like it paid.
Yeah.
No, that's an urban legend. That's like Bigfoot and shit.
We really try. That is really up there for us, and I'll admit that's been a bit of a struggle coming back to the UK. Beijing is a whole different place. There's a lot more expendable income there, so that was a lot easier, I guess. But yeah, our whole thing, and I think maybe because we were born in the pandemic and people weren't making money, the whole thing was, let's try and make a place where, you know, they can make money.
It was low-key. I mean, our first venue was like needed support, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's really, and it was like, oh, we would love to put a show on. We can't book bands, whatever it is. And yeah, it was, a lot of it came from kind of trying to fill a gap that we were seeing.
Kind of for venues as well as performers, as well as selfishly for ourselves.
Yeah,
I think we missed it. So.
Well, and for content as well. Like it was, I think one thing that's incredible about living in Beijing is you are so immersed in another culture, but there is this entire expat community that kind of forms, and you're often looking for I don't know, like a kind of a taste of home or whatever it is. And so like you would see these like English language comedy clubs and improv clubs and things like that. And I think we kind of fit into that vein that like you would never go into a show in Beijing and have a dildo thrown in your face unless you came to a Jing and Tonic. You know, it was
I'm sold.
That we needed to fill.
Literally. Words. Great choice. Yeah. So I don't know if that fully answers your question, but yeah, I guess that's how we started. We are infamous for getting shut down by the police in Beijing. It's not happened in the UK yet. But yeah, that was kind of our thing. We barely had a show that didn't get police presence, just because I guess it was during the pandemic and stuff, and the sheer numbers of people we had coming in was insane.
Also, we had no permission to be doing it by any authorities.
Maybe another part of the beauty of Beijing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of little loopholes that we managed to kind of slip through. So yeah, that's kind of where we started, and then Curtis left Beijing in July.
Yeah, July 31st, 2021.
So that was the end, because Curtis has always been the host from day one, and literally Jing and Tonic would not exist without him. Like I just wouldn't. If you weren't here, I just absolutely wouldn't do it. Yeah, he is Jing and Tonic, really.
I wouldn't do it without you.
Oh,
you know?
he's the face. I'm very much the behind this part now. So yeah, in Beijing it very much worked that I would do most of the running of it, and then Curtis would rock up again with no idea really, and I'd say, got this much time, and he would just jump in. He's so quick like that. Yeah, but now Curtis is very, very much involved with the organization of it as well. So very. Would you say 50-50? You're maybe starting to do more now.
No, I mean, you know, we carry the load.
It's very different here. So yeah, Curtis came back in July, and then I came back in September.
Came back, and we're saying came back. Neither one of us are from
We're not
Sheffield.
from Sheffield.
I don't know if you've
Sorry.
heard that yet.
No?
But-
But you sound exactly like Sean B.
Exactly. If we get drunk enough, we can pull out our Sheffield accents, but yeah, not at that point yet. Yeah, no, and we are foreigners to this land called Yorkshire, and I came for school. Well, I was a bit further south, and then Claire returned to Scotland, her homeland, and then we both kind of wound up in Sheffield. There's a story there, an origin story, which is that I came here first and Claire followed. She disputes that.
Absolutely not.
That is the timeline. And yeah, we just decided to start it back up.
It was a little bit of a trickle thing. It was like, well, we're both here now.
Yeah.
I guess we could just, and then, yeah, we did. So.
And there are weirdly a bunch of Beijing people around
I
as
literally
well.
just saw that Adam's joined. Hi, Adam. First, like, OG, absolute Jing and Tonic OG audience member, who also now is in Sheffield, which is often. But yeah, there's a lot of that going on. So we've weirdly got a fan base already here. And then I would say absolutely the first few shows have been such a success. And you can tell there's people that are just like, yes, I will be at every show. So
have you got is there like a particular venue that you're at, or do you go wherever can have you, without getting arrested and shit?
That's only Beijing. We don't want to get that reputation here. No, that was kind of part of it as well. I kind of wanted it to be like a circus almost. That's the vibe. So we would move from venue to venue. We started quite small, and at the end we had a massive space. But part of that was we said we supported the venues. That would mean that literally every month we went to a brand new venue. And it meant that these audience members would be like, oh, damn, I didn't know this place existed, or I've never been
like
here
a totally
before.
different neighborhood as well. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, across the city.
It could be like an hour away.
Yeah.
People would turn up, and it was exciting for them, because it's kind of like a safe space where you absolutely don't know what to expect, but you kind of know what to expect. You know that you're getting Curtis and you're getting me, and that whole community will be safe. And then you're also getting to explore something new. So, you talked about being here, and a lot of performers are, we're a bit of a hermit sometimes. So that kind of forces you out and makes you find a new place that you love, or you'll go back to and support. So it really just worked for everyone.
Yeah, and now in Sheffield, we did our first 2 shows at Make Noise Studios, which Claire's in many bands. They perform there all the time. Well, 2 and counting. And then we did a giant New Year's blowout at Alder Bar. And we're in talks with a few places now for the next edition. We're not being, I would say, as ambitious as we once were in Beijing, where we were like, this is every month. It's a different venue every month, different acts every month. We're trying to build it up slowly. So Yeah, we definitely love, again, that idea of moving around, but then also forming relationships with these venues.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it was we tailor the show to the venue we're going to be in. And even when we were in Beijing, there was this small, lovely venue. What was the name of that place? On the lake, where well, anyway, it was an incredible success, but it was a very low-key venue, candlelit, everything like that. And from that, Ho-Hi, I forget the name. But anyway, from there, that developed into a second show, which was What the Folk.
Yeah.
And that became home venue. And so, like, you know, it's again, it's finding these venues, finding these artistic partners, and building from there, building these artistic relationships.
And we should also note as well that What the Folk is now, it's still in Beijing, run by other people now. I think there was What the Folk started up in South Africa. I don't know if it's still there. Jojo was talking about maybe doing that at some point in New York. Like that has become almost like a little chain thing. You know, and that's still keeping people getting paid, which is really exciting. So we've left a little bit of a legacy.
So go on. So make the pitch. So what are you, without just saying anything, what types of performers are you looking for? If people are watching and they're thinking of getting in touch, would I fit on one of these shows? Could I get into one of these shows? Who do you want to be hearing from?
You said don't say anything, but literally anything. We are.
If you can scuba dive out of water, like, we'll consider that. Like, get in touch, and like, mostly we chat, you know, because we want people to be comfortable as well. We want them to know what kind of audience to expect, what they're going into. So yeah, a lot of the time it is just like, come and talk to us and we'll have that conversation. But very rarely will I turn things down.
No, and we've had some like pretty out there acts like throughout the years.
So
each show then to be very unique, bespoke, somewhat experience. Like I said, tailored to the venue and who's available on that.
Absolutely.
Whatever time you got, and then so people are looking for so like the amount of sort of stage time, and that might be able to receive. How do you kind of look at who you've got available, and how do you kind of work that out for people?
Yeah, that is literally tailored down to having these conversations, and we'll literally talk to individual people or acts or performers, bands, and say, you know, how long do you want? Quite a lot of these people might be new to this and they might just want a quick 5-minute slot, and absolutely we can do that. They might want 20 minutes, and you know, we'll work that out. So yeah, we make the schedule around what they want to do. And we also, I say we, Curtis fills these gaps a lot. So like, if, you know, we might decide on, okay, we're going to have 6 acts for this show. And then if they're not filling the time slot we need, we put games in, we put additional things in, which actually weirdly become like favorites. So yeah, like we can add meat to that, you know?
It's really like a variety show in the kind of classic sense of a variety show. You know, if you watch those old like 70s shows where there's a host and there's musical guests and like whatever, but then randomly there's going to be a woman like twirling batons of fire on ice skates, and like you know, and just like anything goes. It really is that vibe.
You know, I am so down for that. I think there's really, like you say, that was the thing, from vaudeville to somewhat Broadway, except it was like, that's the thing, you know, like everybody, a lot of the like great performers back in the day, that's what they did. They sang, they danced, they did comedy, they were multi-skilled, multi-talented people, because that's what you had to do to get paid. You know, this week you're a singer, next week you're a dancer, like wherever you can go, because you know you don't want to get a proper job. So like, go where the gig is, go where the money is. You know, add some strings to your bow. And now it's kind of like, I love going out to see a gig, see a rock show. I like going to see original music. You've got 2 or 3 bands on a bill. Obviously, they're kind of tailored. They're probably usually similar in genre, which is a thing that always kind of annoyed me when I thought. I think it'd be more fun to have like a brass band followed by a ska band followed by a death metal band. Would be a much more fun night for me than the 3 death metal bands.
And Claire's
a lot of venues are like, no, it's got to be it's got to be in keeping. It's death metal night, which is fine, and I like death metal night, but the variety, and certainly also, I mean, because I've been doing this. What's this? This is like episode 15 or so, and I've been in or around whatever the show business. No, not really, but the entertainment scene, or like I said, playing in bands for wait. I mean, look at that. That's how long I've been around.
Evidence.
I've been long enough to get grey. And I think we really need this. I really like the sound of this, and I really want to back this and do my little bit to try and help promote this, because I want this selfishly. As you say, you got to be a little bit selfish.
No.
And I want this, and I want to become a regular.
Yeah.
At these shows when I can. I might even find myself a dildo and get on stage once in a while.
You'll have loads of opportunities, I can promise.
Yeah, you don't know this, but you've actually just volunteered yourself.
I've got an inflatable sheep, but that's for home use. Anyway, so kids, Jing, Jing, Jing and Tonic. If you find these guys, get on the socials. They're doing a perfectly good job of advertising themselves, but here I am to do my bit. Get on the socials, get in touch, have these conversations. I said at the top, whatever it is, if you're a unicycling bear or a backflipping penguin, whatever you are out there, whatever kind of performing creature you are, fucking sheep emoji. Get in touch, have a conversation, get yourself on stage, get the exposure, get the thrill, the fun, the buzz. You might even get paid, which is not the be all and end all, and not the main reason you're doing it. You're doing it for the love of the art, of course, as all backflipping penguins do. But there's a bit of coin in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just adds a bit of extra reason to get off your ass and make it happen.
Penguins, please send them our way.
Like, we're
desperate for that. Desperate.
Oh God. There is a penguin drought. It does seem at the minute in Sheffield. We seem to be. I haven't seen one for a long time.
It's weird that.
It is very strange, because you'd think native. It's fucking cold enough. So let's get to know you two a little better, personally, away from the show. Let's play a little bit of this or that. There's no right or wrong answers. There's a bit of a giggle. For example, I always start, cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Literally, I can't bring him. My dog is right
Get
here.
over here, Peter.
Come here. Where's he?
Up.
Come
on. Up.
He's joining in.
Live dog.
100% dog. It's
all. Oh man.
Bagel the Beagle.
Bagsy. Also from Beijing. Hates kids.
Wow.
Really hates children.
Yeah. Well.
Loves Curtis.
So beer or wine?
I mean, it's like you're setting this up for us.
Easy answer. Okay,
that's
then.
Easy.
Yeah. Pizza or kebab?
Pizza.
Okay. Pineapple with pizza?
Yes.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Okay. We're getting controversial. Chicken with pizza?
No.
Wait, what?
We're back.
We're both mostly vegetarians. So.
Good call. Okay, so country retreat or city living?
Oh, that's really hard.
It's tough.
I think we are. I'm saying we, like I'm speaking.
I know, me too, but it's true. We're city bitches, but we love a holiday to the countryside.
Yeah.
This is the thing. every year because we've got this all the busy, the noise, all the some people fucking love that.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, they go for the country, and it's like if that many people go for the country becomes the city.
Well, that's
yeah. So like,
I guess
there's a fine line.
we're both from pretty country-esque places, so
yeah.
we I think we've gravitated. I mean, we literally moved to Beijing, so I think
Yeah.
we gravitated to grass is always greener, and I think now probably we've got quite a nice mix of
Yeah.
And Sheffield's
The city in the country.
Yeah, you've got all this.
Yeah, it kind of is.
You know, you've got you as well. So yeah.
Would you rather be a vampire or a werewolf?
Vampire.
Yeah, vampire. I can't do with like my skin breaking out.
It's so much gayer.
What, vampire?
Yeah.
Yeah, vampire for sure. We're not like a full clone of you. Like, I'm wondering if you have a question in there that we would disagree on.
I can't wait.
I know. Well, we get to the controversial ones now. Star Trek or Star Wars?
Literally neither for me.
She doesn't know what either of those things are. Star Wars for me, I think. Even though Star Trek is gay, I've just never gotten into it.
It's not about what.
But for me, how I make most judgments in life is which is gayer.
Which is gayer? Okay.
All right. So, which is gayer? Dragon Ball or Pokemon?
Pokemon, because I only know that.
Oh, I was going to say, for the record, this entire part of the segment, she will not understand.
Like, shows anything like that. I'm useless. I'm absolutely.
Pokemon, though. Pokemon died in the wall.
I played it when I was growing up. I guess that's it. Someone's saying Star Trek down there. Someone absolutely disagrees with you.
Okay. So, so Marvel or DC is a pointless question then, right?
I might.
Skip that, shall we?
Marvel.
I'll say.
Have
be cool.
you ever seen a UFO?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I have not.
Take the bait.
No, I was just kind of doing an improv exercise. Just like you always say yes and. I don't know. I've looked at the sky a lot, and I'm sure I've seen a UFO without realizing it was a UFO. You know, they're all around us.
Well, but yeah, if you see something and you don't know what, you can't identify it, then it's unidentified,
well,
and it's flying, and it's an object. You've seen a UFO.
Many UFOs, if that's how we're counting it.
Well, it could be anything. Have you ever seen a ghost?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that was a very solid yes.
Emphatic yes.
I've been in some creepy ass old Scottish places.
You don't believe?
The physicality of them, no.
Oh, but maybe you felt a presence.
I think maybe there's energies. I'll dip into some of that, but I don't think there's a thing. Hi, Trev.
Go on, Trev. That's our photographer from Beijing. Every time Claire's dog howls, I dog sit a lot, and every time Claire's dog howls, I'm convinced it's because he's seeing a ghost, because there's no other reason. He's howling at a corner of the wall.
He will just suddenly be like, at nothing. So
dogs, no.
Do you know I'm sure you're familiar with the comedian and actor Billy Connolly.
Of course.
Yes, of course. His house up in Scotland, maybe his ex-house now with everything that's happened, I'm not sure, but he once had a big sort of castle type, big old-fashioned turrety mansion kind of a house.
Everyone does
up in Aberdeenshire, which was allegedly haunted by a headless dog, which he never saw. But
maybe he was just off his nut.
Headless dog, that's got to be terrible. That's going to be the worst thing that can happen to a dog.
What horrible person's... I don't care about the dog. I want to know the person that did that to the dog and haunt them when I die.
Maybe he just chose them.
Yeah, I mean, well, maybe it wasn't. Maybe the dog. Maybe it was some kind of punishment. Maybe it was the most horrible fucking dog that got to so much sin and shit.
Yeah.
But this dog, as dogs are prone to do, maybe this dog was just, doing that licking in inappropriate places, that they like to do
Dogs.
in very inappropriate places, like it's outside the school gates and shit, really. You know, so all the little kids are like, "Mummy, what's that?" And, you know, you got to have the penis conversation at a time that you didn't really want to. And so that was the punishment. Like, not only have you got to stay on this earth, but you're not going to be able to lick your bits anymore because you're headless.
Because you don't have a head. Right. Okay, I see why you were going for that. Yeah,
I think the punishment you should ever give a dog is a stern no.
Don't, because you're
I know.
To be fair, it works most of the, doesn't it? To be fair, it works.
It does work.
Just be the alpha. Just the no.
Yeah.
They know. Yeah. They know.
Very good.
If only that worked with, I don't know, fascist dictators, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
Just no. Stop.
Putin. Stop. No. Maybe you lightly tap the nose just a little bit, you know, and it just war is over. Peace on earth. No. That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great. That's what we need. The hand of God is to be no.
I'm just having like a sneeze attack.
It's getting weird already. So what was
that the game over? I was getting into that.
Yeah. I could write a humongous list of, you know, ridiculous things, but
have them on hand, and also like whoever's creepily watching this right now should put some type some.
Yeah. So do you get much time to get the cinema, see many movies?
Oh, for sure.
We go to
cinema all the time. It's the issue is that Claire does not remember a single thing about a single film she's
had some form of like movie amnesia, and actually Curtis and I were thinking about starting a podcast on the base of that, where you, which
for the record it just came up that you didn't know a single movie, and I didn't.
Yes. So the premise of this we're thinking is that Curtis says like really famous people and asks me to like name a movie that they were in. Am I able to tell you?
Because we played this game. What was the thing? We were on holiday. We were like, Claire, name one movie who was it? Al Pacino? Is that the person? We were like, name one movie Al Pacino was in, and Ocean 11.
No, it wasn't.
Robert De Niro. That was it.
It was in Ocean's 11.
In a cameo.
Well.
And so he is every episode I would bring a very famous person and try to get Claire to describe why that and she would bring one not even very niche British person that she thinks I wouldn't know and explain to me who,
like Jane McDonald, you know? No, nobody. I don't know. That's a very niche whatever. You know who Jane McDonald is, right?
Yeah, kind of. I know it's
Cruising McDonald.
Okay,
anyway,
it's David Tennant's birthday today. Do we know who that is?
I do know who he is.
Oh, you know that one?
Yeah, Ocean's 11.
Rather attractive Scottish gentleman.
Well, for the record, I do. I have studied a lot of Shakespeare, so any Shakespearean actor I know very well. Scottish, you know.
Yeah, I have to know him.
Yeah.
So what was the last movie you saw that you'd recommend? Does it have to be a new one? Just the last thing you saw that you'd really recommend to someone?
Don't put me on the spot like this.
Name a movie that you've seen.
Okay. The Fall. The Fall. Anatomy of a Fall. That's been drilled into me. Oh God. The Zone of Interest. That I loved. Anything with like tragedy mostly is where I'm at. Curtis is the person you need to speak to about this because you literally are like you deal with this for like almost a living. So
yeah, well, you know, we watch a lot of films. I saw Civil War earlier this week, but I'm really recommend. You can follow me on Letterboxd. Always a great shout.
Big fan of
Curtis loves cats.
Even though he prefers dogs.
Of alliteration.
So yeah, Letterboxd.
Mm-hmm. No, that's an app.
No, I know. So yeah,
no.
so probably yeah. I don't know. That's all the movies I know.
So, to be fair, not remembering must have its perks. There are some things that I've seen, that they don't. If I could have that first viewing again, with all the shock and awe and not knowing the ending and the twist and shit.
Yeah.
That'd be great to be able to have that feeling again. Because films
Every day,
I think they can somewhat lose their edge. The jokes aren't as funny because it's coming, and the twist at the end isn't a twist because it's coming. To be able to be more like you and watch it again and be like, what? It was him? Every time.
that is literally me. I feel like finish the movie and be like, wait, I don't think I've seen this before. Or I think I'm getting the plot really well down, and then I realize I've absolutely seen it before. Yeah.
I think not one of the only reasons why Claire and I are friends, but one of the reasons why we are such good friends is because we both have really terrible memories. And so we will constantly be telling each other like a new joke or having like the exact same conversation we had maybe 2 weeks prior, and we'll both be having the conversation and it's only somebody else overhearing, usually her partner, being like, didn't you guys just talk about that? Like, you guys just did that. But we don't realize it. It's kind of like Thelma and Louise do retirement home.
Yeah.
She laughs as if she gets that reference. Like,
no, I do.
Drag her.
Trev has my back here because he's saying name a murder series. True crime. I'm your bitch. That's fine. I love a documentary. I love true crime stuff. That's where I'm at. But fictional bullshit.
I read something recently they published. Apparently, we're watching too much true crime. Apparently, it's not good for us.
Well, 100%.
Or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like watching it and then
check true. I could have told you that. Just true crime is not good for the psyche.
Oh, 100%. I have it on all the time, and if I don't, I'm not watching it. I'm like cooking and I'm like listening to a podcast like of murder and showering. Just chuck a little podcast on murder, death, all that stuff. So yeah.
I like a movie. I like fictional death. I like a good whodunit. And I really enjoyed Poker Face recently. I thought that was great. I like Knives Out and stuff like that. But the real life stuff, I mean, there's some scary shit and it can be really interesting. But to just binge it in the way that some people do, I don't know, a bit much for me. It doesn't really bother me, but it's kind of, I don't know.
I just want to know what's lurking, you want to know what's waiting around the corner for you. I'd rather be prepped.
I want to be surprised.
As you are daily. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. So all right, so true crime. But I've got a bunch of written down things, and I'm not sure how much of it's relevant anymore. Thanks for this.
No, we do that.
I was gonna say, when that inevitable email comes through from Netflix to make the Gin and Tonic movie, all about the rise to fame and fortune of this showbiz empire. Who would you guys have to play you?
Oh God, you're gonna have to answer for both of us.
I don't even know who could capture our essences.
I think it has to be Emma Stone.
For you?
Yeah, that's all.
Or to play me?
No,
I can see Emma.
Play both of us.
Okay,
talented.
I am going to avoid answering this question by sharing one of my favorite Clara anecdotes, and it's that she had watched
I don't even know what you're about to say.
she had watched the second season of The White Lotus, and she was like, oh yeah, oh I love the show, Jennifer Lawrence, thinking that Jennifer Coolidge's name was Jennifer Lawrence. And for that reason alone, I think Jennifer Lawrence should play her in the movie.
It's a subtle difference.
By that, do you mean Jennifer Coolidge? Because I would love Jennifer Coolidge to play me.
It should be Jennifer Coolidge, and who would play me then?
Jennifer Lawrence when I'm young, and then Jennifer Coolidge when I get old.
That's good.
Okay.
And I'll go with Timothy Chalamet, and then no, Tom Holland, and then Tom Holland when he's old is Richard E. Grant.
Oh, okay.
So Tom Holland and Jennifer Lawrence as us as young folk, and then Rami Malek. I mean, sure. Tom Holland and Jennifer Lawrence, and then when they're old and in the retirement home, it's Richard E. Grant and Jennifer Coolidge.
Okay.
Oh man, I'll watch that. I'll watch that. Yeah, if it was for myself, I always say this. I'd like to think it'd be Jack Black.
Love that.
But I know it'll be Peter Dinklage.
I know.
To be fair, I'm okay with it.
Absolutely.
You can't see in this shot, but I am like 3 foot tall.
Oh,
oh, that's the Game of Thrones. When you said that, I was like, I know the name.
Oh, she had no idea who Peter Dinklage was.
Name, and then,
you gotta explain every time you say a name. You have to explain who you think that person is. You must tell her the context of who.
Short. What short people do I know? Because he's Dinky.
No.
Yeah. That's...
No.
Yeah.
Oh man, this okay. So,
you can't
dear.
only giggling next
So
to me. He's doing like an inside giggle.
And Bagel is licking himself.
Bagel is licking himself.
as they are wont to do. As we are only jealous that we are not that bendy.
Looking.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. All the yoga in the world probably ain't going to get me into that position. I don't think I could do it.
Well, you can dream.
Seriously, yeah. You can dream. You can dream. But imagine, something goes wrong. There's a twinge. There's a snapping sound. And you've got to phone the emergency services to come and help you out of this bind. That's not good for you. I mean, the paramedics are going to tell that story for a long time, but it's not really good for you.
God bless them.
Again, unless, of course, Netflix comes calling with that big bag of cash to tell that story, in which case, fuck it, yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. We're going to have to get more times, I think, to get worthy.
So go on. So come on then. I'll brace myself for this. What's one of the weirdest acts then that sticks in your mind that you've seen that you really did not? People can do that in public.
Curtis is pointing at me, and I don't think it is me.
Oh no! I was just gonna have you take the lead to tell us.
I don't think
there is a single weirdest Jing and Tonic act that I think we could all agree on.
Is it? No, I don't know. Is it Alfie?
It's
not Alfie.
No.
Oh, I don't think James will mind us telling this. There's a guy that did poetry, and I knew that he was completely, love you to death, James, but completely unhinged. And basically I would give him complete freedom to just go, and you have a 10-15 minute slot, and I always knew he would do something so out there. Is that this won't be shown to children or anything? I'm assuming not. Am I free to speak?
We don't have to get into like too much detail.
No, but I think I need to get it. And he designed, and what's really important to say is that he is
so much work put into it.
He's a genius. He is an absolute genius. And he so he designed this kind of conversation with his character and the audience. And he was doing Ernie, and the audience were Bert. So it was a Bert and Ernie sketch.
Okay.
And head to toe in orange paint. With like a full, like he really goes for it.
Like in a diaper, right?
I think the diaper you might be imagining. He might have been in a diaper. I don't know, but he was like full paint, orange head to toe. And basically, how he would structure this conversation was that he knew his lines, and he would have another guy on the side doing like cue card prompts. And so basically the audience were instructed to just read the prompts. And so they started having this dialogue, and it started like a real fun children's Bert and Ernie, you know, it was great fun, and it was like, woo, yeah. And it just slowly descended. It got darker and darker and darker. And it basically turned out that Bert was, I guess, sexually abusing Ernie, who he was playing, and the audience were the abuser. And it was just the most insane thing. And I had not got him to run this by me because he'd performed with us many times before.
We had no idea what it was going to be. No idea, and we're stood. I mean, it was when you asked before what types of acts do we want at Jing and Tonic, and we said really anything goes. This is exactly our point. It was performance art at its finest.
But it was so awkward, and like you could tell the audience were not really comfortable saying these things, but also like they say it to understand what was happening at the end.
This was the same show where we did spend money to hire a man whose entire job was to be dressed up as a giant pink elephant. And he just walked around the room, and he was the elephant in the room, and we never addressed the fact that they're dressed as a giant pink elephant walking around the room. I mean, it was spent actual cold hard money, but you know, it was part of the Jing and Tonic.
He would typically, this was like a middle-aged Chinese man who was typically hired for children's parties, you know, so he got the call through.
I have a picture of him just like head off, chain smoking cigarettes. Like,
and he's coming and seeing the rest of this show. We had like another, we made it was really disturbing actually. We made like an actual children's clown come in on a unicycle blowing up balloon animals.
Oh yeah.
We had thingy.
It was Dan's band played as well.
Yeah, Dan Gamer's band played that. That was out there. And we had
I gotta be honest, I kind of blocked that show out in my head. It was a little bit traumatic. It's like, you know, it was weird. It was weird.
And that was, why am I'm not saying Archie, but the spacesuit astronaut.
Oh, the flying.
The flying dildo. Are you talking about the dildo? I don't know what he's saying. The flying something. But yeah, and yeah, so it was like kind of weirdly aimed at children. So it was like this really disturbing note of, and that particular show, sometimes we theme shows, and that was supposed to be weird and wacky, and we made it very, it was supposed to be just like kind of aimed at children, but with this really dark, horrible note to it, which I think we really achieved. For sure.
Achieved that.
So that's probably the weirdest, probably the Bert and Ernie thing, and he'd made his own free Ernie t-shirts because Ernie was used by other cast members, and so he was like throwing out these free Ernie, like Mike Fox still has that free Ernie t-shirt to this day, and still, so yeah, that's probably the most out there. We also, when we left, and actually after Kurt left, we had a funeral for Jing and Tonic, where we had, so our main mascot, I guess, was this just massive black double-end dildo. And so I made like a cardboard coffin for it, and we got like an actual brass procession to like play it down the funeral aisle, and where we held a ceremony for it. And you did a video link.
I did. I found that video recently as well.
So everybody dressed in black.
I gave a eulogy for Jing and Tonic, and then wound up twerking. No idea how that went over in the room because I just sent it in. But.
Yeah, pre-recorded. But yeah, so we and now we resurrected her in Sheffield, and no one.
So, and you're managing to capture anywhere close to that kind of vibe, you know? In Sheffield, I imagine I'm not sure what the
Working on it.
pool of availability is to you.
No. First of all, in terms of acts, I don't think maybe we need to do a better job in kind of letting people know that we really mean anything. Like, we will consider anything, and depending on, like, if we have a theme, you know, it might not be this particular show, but it might be another show that we go, damn, we have this hula hooping granddad, and that might fit in with this theme. And so yeah, that's kind of what we need. We need to start getting that out a little bit more and letting people know. I think when we started, we had such already quite a big pool that we could pick from. But I guess now, yeah, we want more people from random places. And to be honest, the less known you are, the better for us, I think. Like, we don't want this, well, we do. We'll absolutely have people on, but we don't want it just to be the same people that are seen around the circuit. We want people to come up and try, you know. It's a mix of that. It's a mix of the same people plus new people, and that just gives someone a little bit of a fire in them to start something.
I think with that, like, the vibe of a Jing Tonic is very, like, anything goes, and no matter what, like, even if somebody, because we have a lot of comedians come up, and coming from a comedy background, I can say, you know, sometimes a comedian will bomb, you know, and it just, like, it won't work. They're trying out new material, whatever it is, it just doesn't work. But, like, our crowds generally are really supportive because they know this is, again, it's that variety show feel that at any time, there might be a comedian who bombs, but then we're going to have, like, the greatest musician you've ever heard in your entire life right after that. Like, it's just, it is, I was always really inspired, I guess, by how much our audiences trusted us. I mean, we're talking about weird and wacky. We didn't, like, necessarily tell anyone how weird or wacky that show was going to be. Like, we don't advertise necessarily how different a show is going to be from the last, because we built a fan base that just would follow us anywhere, because they knew, like, at the end of the day, the ethos was anything goes, and all we really care about is getting like killer artists on the stage.
Yeah, and we found that, like, literally, as Curtis is saying, like, that community that built up was unlike any audience I've ever seen. And I think it's like you know, you come in, you leave your inhibitions at the door, like, everything is, you know, and you don't know what to expect. That leaves you wide open. And I think we've had people that maybe haven't seen drag shows before that have left going, damn, that was actually phenomenal, or they haven't seen weird, perverse poetry before, and they might discover that. And, you know, we've had serious poetry on there before, and people have come in and, you know, maybe they've enjoyed that, or a type of music. It's exactly about that, just expanding everyone's horizons. I think people get stuck in their own rut, and I think that's fine to be in your comfort zone, but I think this is a really nice, comfortable space to just give you little drops of something new that you might not have known about.
I mean, you don't know. You just don't know what you like until you've been exposed to it. I mean, you know, it's that simple. I speak to people all the time, and it's like people can make I mean, we're all prone to do it. I'm not meaning I'm not big on criticizing anyone, but you know, you make a judgment call, and I've never quite understood when people sort of do that without having actually experienced it. How they can make that decision, like, oh, you know, I don't like horror movies, you know. Like, well, what was the horror movie you watched that, you know, put you off? Well, we can't have that conversation because, well, I haven't watched one because I don't like them. Well, how do you fucking know then? You know, like, I don't like punk rock. I don't like heavy metal or whatever. You know, well, you know, what's the band that put you off? And they can't name the band because they haven't actually heard any.
Well,
you know, or maybe they do name you a band and you go, we need to have a talk because they're about as punk rock as, you know, let me play you some real punk rock and we'll see if you like this, you know.
Both Claire and I, like, we've got really expansive tastes, like, in everything. Like, I am a glutton for, like, any type of culture. I will watch any genre of movie, listen to any genre of music. Like, I just love consuming good art. And, like, sometimes I'm like, yeah, that's not really for me. I'm not going to play this album, like, on repeat, but I'm glad I got to listen to what's going on in, you know, death metal land today, or
Yeah.
like I really bounce around between so many different things, and I think Claire's got a very, very open mind as well, and I think that's kind of why the curation for Jing and Tonic, like, we're very open to anything, and we're very much, we love when we find something new that's unexpected even to us.
We do, and we do throw, usually there is a bit of I like to put a wild card in. It's usually me that kind of deals with the line. I like to throw something, especially if Curtis has no idea. I like to just like throw an act in there that he has absolutely no idea what to do.
I do try really hard not to, I know this sounds like really unprofessional, but like I try really hard not to like listen to, like, go on any of the comics, you know, Instagrams beforehand, or like listen to the bands or whatever, because I want to like experience it live as the audience is doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I say this probably every week at some point on here, that there are two types of art, you know. There's what you like and there's what you don't, you know, and that's it. And what you like, maybe I don't. What I like, maybe you don't. But we can still be friends anyway. And there'll probably be something else if we just try enough. There'll be something we agree on at some point, like guaranteed. There's no way any two people are really that sort of polar opposite. I mean, it's mathematically possible, but it's unlikely. So any kind of beef that people have when we're just talking about art and, you know, and entertainment, you know, and like, well, I'm not getting along because I like this and you like that, it's just weird to me. I never got that.
I think we're always like on a quest to like figure out, like, we want to, everybody likes art. Like, if you're putting art out there, there's an audience for that art. And like, I always want to find out like what somebody's appreciating in that art. And I think that kind of, that curiosity really can fuel, your artistic consumption.
And I also think like where you've seen that could affect how you think of that overall. Like, if you've gone to a specific show and it's all specifically this thing, and maybe it's not been organized well, or it's not had a good feeling, and that will taint how you look at that. Like, I'm sure people have been to poetry nights before and it might just have a stereotypical vibe to it, but if you've experienced poetry in a different light, you might love it more. And I think with the way we do things, because you have to just be open, I think you're already like ready to accept something new, so you're more likely to give something a chance. And then when you go to that next poetry night, you might be a little bit more open to that, you know. Like, we've definitely had people discover things that they didn't think they liked, that they kind of end up liking.
And that's the joy of Jing and Tonic. To give it the
I was just gonna chip in and do the slightly professional things. If anybody's just joining us, this is Jing and Tonic. I'm not going to tell you which one's which. You can work that out for yourself. Is a clue. They're both him. So, and they are, well, Jing and Tonic is, it's a night. It's a one, I think, once a month. Is that right?
Not even as often.
Currently?
Yeah, we're as and when. Right now we're maybe we could brand it a more exciting prospect where we just kind of appear and you get excited for us.
We've got an upcoming show, hopefully in June.
We're gonna say June, but we don't know.
We're gonna say June. We don't have the exact date yet, but stay tuned. We will be announcing that soon. And also, hopefully, another show is looking like in September. Maybe one in between, depending on how ambitious we are. But yeah, we definitely have things coming down the pipeline, and we'll be.
And just to get it out there again, if anybody's new, I keep repeating things, but so if you are a performer, literally anything, these guys want to hear from you. They want to spend just all day sifting through those DMs.
We'd love to.
And getting back to you, I'm wondering what you do. Maybe not even wondering that much what you do, and just putting your own anyway, and finding out for themselves live, just like the audience, which is fucking nuts. But I love the idea. I really do.
I'm
I think not just Sheffield, I think the world needs more of this right now. Not to bury my head in the sand with all the craziness going on, but
needs more of this.
we do need a break from that.
Yeah. We're not even
and shows like this, attempting to do shows like this, finding those people, because those people, those performers, they need, like I said, the platform to provide a platform. Like it's, you know, the rock bands are pretty much catered for, and there's pretty much a sort of stand-up comedy circuit or whatever. But a place where you can see it all in one night under one roof, and potentially something you have never seen before, and maybe you'll hope you never see again. But that's all part of the fun. Or maybe you will never be able to unsee. Might be the issue.
Well, that.
But definitely all part of the fun. Definitely something that I would imagine anybody who's pays any attention to my crap would probably be very interested in your crap. So it definitely sounds like the place to be.
Absolutely.
So June. Can we confirm?
Yeah, I mean, we don't
have
a date yet. We're kind of zoning in on 2 dates, but we're not going to put them out yet. But yeah, if you follow the Instagram Jing.and.Tonic, Curtis hates that there's a dot in there. There's nothing I've done. We have to have Jing.and.Tonic. But yeah, if you follow us on there, that's mostly where we'll update things and release things. So yeah, and also on the stem of that, like, outside of performers, if people need, obviously, you know, it's mostly just us trying to run this, but like, if anyone's got skills outside of that they're looking to develop, whether it be photography, videography, poster making, all of those things, and we've had some people coming forward, but like we need, you know, we don't need, but we want, that's another place where people can be using this to develop their skills. So that's a conversation we can have as well. If anyone out there has any sort of, you know,
if you really love like scanning tickets at the door,
and be involved, like we want to hear that, you know. And also, just while you were talking there, I had that idea, it doesn't even need to be Sheffield based. Like if you were into making videos and you know, certain art forms that you could pre-make and send to us and we could showcase it, you know, like that's something that we there. So it doesn't even need to be Sheffield, but like, you know, anywhere really. So yeah, get in touch.
Every day. Jing.and Tonic, Jing and Tonic, you'll find it. I found it easy enough. It was much easier for me to find them than it was for them to find me to get on and do this. I'll tell you that much.
Took a few minutes.
We got there in the end.
We got 3 bad memories, but it was only an hour ago, and it still hurts. I didn't think you were going to come.
No. We were ready.
Thought you were going to leave me sad.
We were just too busy.
Sat here on my own, naked, crying for an hour. Thought that was going to be the best episode ever.
Wait, did you say something there? Can't actually only see you from the beard up. Just checking you're sat there in the nude, are you?
You know what? Don't tell us.
Fine if you are.
They're
He's like, I might be.
Yeah, there's pretty much there's this, and then there's feet. That's pretty much like basically the closest. We're talking about Peter Dinklage, but to be fair, probably the closest representation in Hollywood that a guy like me really has is probably the Ewoks.
Oh no. Well, yeah. I would look at that like there's a gap in the market. Got to get out there.
I'm quite happy. Well, I'm not actually quite happy, Satya. Originally, this was supposed to be pandemic. I had the crazy idea. I did want this to be some kind of live show. Mm-hmm. I was looking for a partner, and I did want to just do a duo on stage, maybe with a desk, and doing the kind of taking the on this day crap that I just post every day, celebrity birthdays, film releases, the nostalgia and stuff, taking that as the basis, just to give you like names and concepts to discuss, and just riffing, just completely improving and riffing on that, and maybe trying to get some audience involvement and stuff. But it was supposed to be a live show. That failed miserably as an idea, as a concept. I'm not sure anybody wants to see that anyway, but that failed. We took to just posting on social media for the sake of posting, and but the performer in me, however far behind I may have left the band stuff, and people ask me about, oh, you don't miss it? No, I don't miss the band stuff, but I guess I do sort of miss performing.
Yeah.
And so I thought I'd go solo and do it in more of a, I don't want it to be an interview, I always just want it to be a chat, kind of a thing.
Sure.
But yeah, and then that kind of went from not being live to being this, which has been tons of fun, and there's been some incredibly cool people on here. I don't know if I'm allowed to call them friends now or not, but like hopefully keep in touch somewhere down the line. So it's still been a blast. It's still been great.
Yeah. I hope you count us among those incredibly cool people.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. So they really do want to hear from you, especially if you're a backflipping penguin.
Yeah.
It's that'd be Jing and Tonic. They just want performers. Come perform. Come and watch performers. Have a great time. Get on it. Get on this. Make it big. Make it a thing. Make it a police issue.
Yes. Bring it back to our roots.
Get the authorities to notice. Not because we're doing anything we shouldn't be, just because it's potentially a fire hazard, because that many people want to be in the building at the same time.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right? That's what we want. That's what we want at every show, everybody who's doing this.
Also, just to venues, like obviously I don't know if this will go out to venue, but if people know venues, if you have a and like that, I feel there's something missing here that I've noticed where, like, you know, I don't know, venues don't seem to have those or they'll use like PR people. Like, we can run a show without being a PR person. So, you know, if someone has a venue and they're looking for people to come, we can do that. We are and
call us. Anyone call us.
And that means that we can like facilitate, we become the middle guy. You know, we handle the tickets, we handle the performers. So they really, like, every time I speak to a venue organizer, it becomes this conversation of like, no, like, you just go chill. You have a night off. Like, really, all you need to do is make sure your bar is manned and well, because these people will be drinking.
But even now, a lot of bartenders, like, we can do it all. We can do it all.
So yeah, like, you know, that's another element. We're not just reaching out to performers, but you know, venues as well. Like, that's an opportunity, and I feel like everyone knows a venue owner. Everyone has a contact somewhere, even local pubs. So like, we can. The beauty is that we can do like big scale stuff, but we can also do like acoustic nights. Like, everything can fall under this Jing and Tonic umbrella, because it's all variety. So we can do a cute little poetry night in a small venue, and we can do and have done, and we can do a comedy night, or we can do a massive big thing, and you know, like, it's anyone's game. So yeah, we're wide open for that. Wide open.
There you go. Just get in touch. Just get in touch. I mean.
If you want a professional email address. Absolutely. jingandtonicevents@gmail.com. Claire manages our Instagram. I manage our email, where we get approximately 2 emails every other month. So, so
I don't ever.
They're both from an African prince.
The email address. Like, I'll need to write that down. So yeah.
But no, thank you. Thank you very much for like giving us the opportunity to come and rep our show. Hopefully this will go out wide and people will be interested in performing, seeing, booking, all of those things. So
all of this, all the craziness. So I'm just gonna touch on. I don't know. Do you video game?
No.
No, that's not a thing. We can skip that bit.
Not big video gamers.
I've recently got a PS2 and I've started playing The Sims. Does that count? Is that game? That's about it. Yeah.
We do Duolingo every
We are
day.
big Duolingo language learners, and we're very competitive. Or not.
I'm very competitive.
He's competitive. I'm not. But yeah, that's part of it. You found it. You found a weak area for us there.
I mean, I played a kid.
Tony Hawk's.
Sure. Yep. I was like a Super Smash Brothers Melee. I was entering tournaments and all sorts. Like I
do believe that.
And then it became too much of a problem. I was playing.
You got a bad addiction.
Yeah, no, like I actually, it was like a concern, and I had to kind of cut that part of my life out of my.
Wow, great. So.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Fine, don't worry.
Yeah, no. So I've completely lost. I had a train of thought, and it's completely gone now.
That's a trend. Is that?
We're rubbing off on you.
What the hell? I've got some notes, but they're all absolutely useless. Nope. It's gone. But
gone
yeah,
forever.
no, it's gone. It's completely gone.
You need a notepad like next to your face.
Yeah, it's gone. I'm done. I'm out.
Video.
I'm spent.
That's all right.
I've spent. I've had such a good time.
I don't know you want us much longer on this feed before.
Yeah. Okay. So let's. Yeah. Like I am spent. I have had. That's what a good time I've had. I have had such a good time. I am dehydrated.
You should become.
There's a brain fog, and I just need to roll over and have a sleep.
We know
regularly.
Re-energize and get ready for the shit job. This is the fun job, and then I've got the shit job, the real job, the job that actually pays. Because
all got those.
This doesn't, and I can't get monetized because I swear too much. So
well, got a home, and we'll make an act somehow, and you can.
I could always stop swearing, but fuck that.
We will pay you to just come and swear for.
That's pretty. You know, if I put myself up for a 10-minute slot, that's pretty much like 8.5 minutes of it would pretty much just be that.
Can you imagine? I've just got an idea. You imagine just a room full of people, and for 1 minute solid, like laughter yoga, you can't drop the ball. Someone has to be swearing at all times, and it has to be constant.
I'd stop because that's going to be a new game.
I like that.
Write that down. I don't know.
Tomorrow I'll be like, hey, Curtis.
You know what? Hey, you know what's kind of it's a fun game. It's kind of it might be easy with digital technology now. I used to play it years ago. You can do it in your head. I'm not sure how you can do it physically too much. But if you think of songs, think of songs like classic songs, particularly like ballads and love songs where they'll use the word like love, loving, you know, approximately. And you know, back in the day on the radio kids it's like Spotify, but there's even more adverts than the free version, right?
Yeah.
But they tell you whether there's a traffic jam as well, which is Spotify never lets me know there's a traffic jam. It's fucking useless. And even when you pay for it, it doesn't let you know there's a traffic jam coming up. So, you know, radio wasn't that bad. Anyway, but on the radio, if there was a song and it had a naughty word in it, some artists might re-record the song. Some artists wouldn't, and the radios, they kind of just like mute it for that second. And you just get that little pause, you know, la 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 la, mother, la 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 la. But you just get that pause. Or if you think of a favorite sort of love song, and if you pause out the word love, just leave that gap, and your dirty mind will do the rest.
Okay.
And fill in the blank, especially when ultimately, for all the kind of fluffiness of a love song, they are probably all actually more about fucking than love.
True.
So,
and you'll find a lot of them make much more sense
we can
when you do that.
Make that work. We play the song, and it's the same thing. Like, no one knows who's going to shout, but someone needs to shout. It could be 3 people at the same time, but every time we stop that musical chairs, if you will. But yeah, every time they stop, they have to shout another word, and it's going to be awful. It's going to be done. Yeah. We do love an improv bass. You'll not see me anywhere near that, but Curtis is really good at it. Also love, we need more improv. There's not enough improv in Sheffield. Maybe that I see.
No,
you'll see more. I just
don't
see it.
Don't slander
I'm sorry.
the improv community.
I just don't see it. Curtis knows all about that. We just want it, but then that's exactly the point. The regular Joe like me, I like to watch it, but I don't like to do it. But
well, we'll get them involved.
Come to it.
But you're doing it right now.
Exactly.
That's true.
Yeah. Love it.
I think. I mean, I'm not. I've never done improv, but I think it's something I've looked into, and it's one of those things. Right. My big issue with art in general, in all its forms, all its mediums. Now I know there's skills and techniques that can be taught and that you can learn, but it's art. All art, at the end of the day, is subjective. Someone might like it, someone else doesn't. So it's that kind of idea that it's one thing somebody teaching me various skills and techniques, but don't think you can fucking grade me on this and like decide if I've got an A or a B or a D. If I've passed or I failed.
It's
because I can't, because it's art. Because you might think it's a D, but that guy might hear it, see it, smell it, whatever it is that I've done, and really, really like it.
Yeah.
So I've never really been. I struggle with like teachers. I struggle with go learn something because I feel like there's, to a degree, there's things you can't teach.
Curtis might disagree heavily.
Well, I am a music and drama teacher, but we don't need to get into pedagogical debate right now.
With more wine.
Yeah, honestly,
more wine for that.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
I mean,
maybe
you have to quantify it like somehow, and like I said, it's all about the exposure. So if people can take a class, then that's that's the exposure that they're going to get. And like I said, there are in all the different mediums of art, there's various different techniques. I said that can be taught and learned, and then a certain amount of natural talent, and you might take to it, you might not. But
yeah, I think there's a natural ability there. Like I think you can learn techniques and stuff, but I think maybe the natural ability is just that weird performer element where you don't mind being in front of people. That helps, surely. I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah. I'll leave.
I feel like I've seen people. I feel like I've seen various artists that I know are really, really, really good at what they're doing from like a technical standpoint. That doesn't mean that I haven't been bored shitless throughout their entire set.
Yeah. Wouldn't have.
Well, I know they're really good. I would never like come away and I would never diss them or say that they were bad. It's just that it wasn't for me because they were almost too good in a sense.
But the guy
that it was just like
you might have absolutely loved. Yeah. Listen, you wouldn't find that at Jing and Tonic.
That's true. It's never boring.
We can promise that it's never boring. It might be a lot of other weird things, but it's never going to be boring.
Never boring. Put that on the t-shirts.
Never boring.
Put that
T-shirts.
on the t-shirts. Gin and tonic. Never boring. It's just 2 words. It's quick. It's snappy.
Yeah.
That's it.
There's the
Never boring.
t-shirts, the billboards.
Yeah.
the
All of that.
side of buses.
Yeah, we've got
Great.
coming out. Don't you worry.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for doing this. It's been a blast. It's been a hoot.
Thank you for very important what you're doing as well. So keep.
Oh, thank you very much. Very sweet. I can only imagine you've got to imagine, kids, if you've been watching this, if you're watching it back afterwards, if you've been here live, thank you very, very much. You've got to think, if you enjoyed this, imagine how good the actual shows are.
You're not ready.
Right? For a start, there's less of this. So that's a plus. Right?
There might not be. We might.
We'll see about that. We shall see about that. You'll be hearing from my lawyers. But yeah, assuming this doesn't get cancelled, taken down for all the like dildo and sheep and other talk, and we didn't say anything bad at all about the Chinese government. We definitely did not do that because we didn't have to.
No.
In any shape, form, or way. That never happened, and never will, ever.
No.
Ever.
We were.
Just get that on the record. So Sheffield, brace yourselves. Some shows have already taken place, but brace yourselves. It's only going to get bigger and better and crazier from here on in. Jing and Tonic, get on those socials. Get on the email. Jing and Tonic at events. Jing and Tonic events
at gmail.com.
There you go. Just get in touch. Get in touch. Whatever you do, wherever you are, just get in touch. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Never boring.
Never boring.
Unlike this show, which probably is at least occasionally. But hey, so I'll let you guys. You feel free to just crush yourselves off while I give a little outro, and think we might be seeing each other again.
Get out.
Thank you.
Sing. Get away.
We'll leave.
I don't know how to
Bye.
leave. Okay.
Oh, you hang up. Hey. Well, kids, that was a little bit different. What a great idea. Bringing variety back. Yo, variety shows. Oh, I'm down for that. If you want to see more of me, go to a Jing and Tonic show. I'm probably going to be there. That sounds fantastic. So, performers, venues, I don't know, staff, caterers, photographers, whatever you do, videographers, something remotely, however sort of entertainment adjacent you might think you are, these kids might be able to hook you up in some shape, form, or way. It's all about that back scratching. It's all about that back scratching. Community, artistic community is what we need. It's what we've got. We can't get big enough. We're taking over. So, Jing and Tonic, light up their socials, get in there, just slide in their DMs. You have permission. You have permission. It's consenting. Right? You're hearing it from me, but it's on their behalf. Totally consenting. Just slide on in there, smooth as you like. Get in touch, and I'll be back next week about the same time. Next week, there was no video game talk this week. Next week, that's pretty much, possibly, all you're gonna hear. Nah, probably not. It's probably going to be as varied as ever. But there's definitely going to be a video game focus next week. Adverts for that will be going up shortly. So, till as the sun sets slowly in the west, I'll bid you a fond farewell. Bye for now.